Okay. So last time we left it off going back and forth inside the CD and going up the directory and all, right? Okay, so we're gonna continue on here. Give me just a moment here. Okay, so okay, so next thing we're gonna learn here is the path. Okay, there are two types of paths. One is an absolute path, and other one is a relative path. Okay, so let me explain you what path is. I think I gave a little bit of information about path. Um, where is it at? Okay, right here. So what this is a path of the present working directory here, right? So I explained you the path where the directory is. So if you're doing PWD here, this is a path. Okay. Now I'm going to explain you what a relative path is. So let me explain you an absolute path. Okay, so for this directory here, /home/Zafar1. Okay, for Zafar1, the absolute path is starting with /home. Okay, anything that is a most leading path for this directory is absolute path. Okay, so from the topmost directory. Okay, and this is absolute path here. Okay, now if we look tree here, right? Tree, right now we are here. So that means we are here in a absolute path here. Okay, so we are in Zafar1 right now. Why? Because when we do PWD, we are sitting in Zafar1. Okay, so this is entire thing is absolute path here. Now, if we look forward here, standing from here, if we look forward, so what is the path? What would be the path for the directory one? That would be simple, right? That would be, if you do CD, there will be folder one and a directory one. Okay, so so the relative path is looking forward. Okay, so the relative path for a directory from Zafar1. Okay, so
No,
yeah, you have a question?
no, sorry, Mrs. Zafar.
Oh, okay. Morning, sir. This is a path looking forward from the existing directory. Looking forward from the present working directory. Okay, so okay. So if I hit enter here, I went to the directory one using a relative path here. Okay, if I hit enter, now if I do PWD, I am into the directory one here. But I didn't type the entire thing here to get into this directory because I was already in the path of the directory. Why I was in the path of directory? Because I'm already sitting there. From there, I moved one directory and another directory down. So this part is relative path. Now, as I mentioned earlier, every file and every directory has its absolute path. Can somebody tell me what would be the absolute path for directory one? Absolutely correct. That is so true. So the absolute path for this directory is home, Zafar1, and all this here. So can we go back to this directory using the absolute path? Yes, you could definitely do that. So if I just type cd and hit enter, I'm sorry, cd, and I copied this line and I hit enter. So this is the absolute path here. When I hit enter, there you go. So what happened now is I went into the same directory using an absolute path. And then I went into the same directory using the relative path. Any questions? So you can use absolute and relative path to change directories. Okay. All right, guys, give me about a few minutes. I need to pause. I have a new student here. I'm gonna set him up, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now I will get going. Are you guys could still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. So, any um so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in here. In absolute path, you can use absolute or now let me just leave it here. Okay, so next thing is we're gonna did I show you how to delete the file or anything? No, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so the next command we're gonna learn is remove. Okay, so go back to your home directory. Simply type cd, you will go back to your home directory. Okay, then over there, do ls or do ls-l. Okay, so what I want to do is I don't like this file here, file one. I want to get rid of this. So what I'm gonna do is rm, okay, and then I'm gonna say file one. Okay, you gotta be careful. You make sure you copy and paste it. Or if you type it, just be careful that you are selecting a correct file, because what will happen is there is no such thing as recycle bin in a Linux environment. Once you delete it, it's gone. Okay, so I'm gonna hit enter, and there is no confirmation either. It might give you a confirmation if there is a like high profile file or a system file, but if you are deleting a regular file, there is no such thing as confirmation. Okay, so I just type rm file one and that file is gone. How do you know? You do ls-l and you don't see this file anymore. So, okay, what about I want to delete all the files from here. So what I'm gonna do is um, I'm gonna do ls-l and I hit enter. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do rm hyphen rf and I'm gonna do an asterisk sign. So what this will do is it will delete everything in here, including a hidden files. Okay, it may not delete the system hidden files, but it might try to delete these files here. Okay, let's take a look here. We really don't want any other hidden files anyway. So I'm going to do clear. I'm going to type rm hyphen rf. Before that, let me copy this part here. Give me one moment here. So let me put here, let's have an L. So if you do a single file, if you want to remove single file rm doc1, okay, and the file is gone. And if you do ls-l, that file doesn't exist anymore, right? So I'm going to put this here. rm command removes the file. And I use the command here, right? So I'm targeting this file, doc1, and then I use the command rm doc1. And if I check it again here, doc1 is gone. It's not there anymore. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I want to delete everything from here. So the command to do that is rm -rf. I'm adding a switch here. I explained earlier, anything with a hyphen you're adding, that is a switch. So R means recursive and F means force. So it's going to force everything to be deleted from this file here. And I'm providing a wildcard. Wildcard means everything. So the system is not going to wait. It's going to say, okay, I'm going to delete everything from here. So I hit enter. And if I do ls-l, everything is gone. Let's do al. Okay, so here, so when I did hyphen al, the hidden files are still there. So this command is going to delete only the files which are being viewed here. This will remove all the files from the directory. And be careful when you remove this from a wrong directory, like a system directory or a database directory. You're going to be in big trouble if it's going to be like a production server. You better don't use this command, as you feel like. Use this responsibly. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the next command we're going to learn is using a wildcard, okay? So let me clear the screen here. So if I do ls-l, I don't have anything here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly create some files here. Okay, so I'm going to do mkdir file1, file2, file3, and then I'm going to say doc1, doc2, doc3. If you guys have deleted everything, go ahead and run this command and create those directories. Okay, so now if I do ls-l, I have all these directories here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the concept of wildcard, okay? Asterisk. This is okay. So what is the wildcard gonna do? If I do ls-l and then I am putting down D as in David, and I'm putting a wildcard in here. So what it's gonna do is what you know what actually um yeah, hold on. Go ahead and run rm-rf asterisk again. Let's create files instead of creating our directories, okay? Touch file 1, file 2, file 3, and then doc 1, doc 2, doc 3, okay? And I'm gonna hit enter. So if I do ls-l, I have a bunch of files here, right? These are single files, not the directories. So what I'm gonna do is ls-l, and then I'm gonna say D as in David, and I'm gonna provide the asterisk. And what it's gonna do is gonna filter out any files that is starting with D. So how many files we have starting with D? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 files starting with 3. What if we do something that starts with um, F? I do F and an asterisk. And what is it doing now? It's filtering out anything that starts with F. Okay, now it gets interesting here. Okay, I want to see only that thing that starts. Okay, I want to see something that ends with. Okay, so what you do is you put an asterisk first and you do number 2. Now it's not going to see what is it starting with. It's going to look at what is it ending with. So we have doc2 is ending with number 2 and file 2 is ending with number 2. So it's not looking what's starting with, it's looking what is ending with. Okay, so what it does is it will filter that out for you. Okay, so this is going to be really useful when you're searching for something and you vaguely remember a file name. And what you want to do is you want to do, oh, I remember the file was created with a date stamp. And let me search something that ends with a date stamp. So you provide a date stamp in the end, and it will filter that out for you. All right, so I'm gonna give a 30-second pause and wait if anybody has any questions, okay?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, I forgot to delete the file in the first place. It's file number 2. But when I use the command touch, right, to create a file, it overrides the file. It created on that. The date stamp is changed.
That is true. It overwrites the file here. There is a flag. I'm gonna show that later. You have to use -p to preserve it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it will not prompt that whether the file is already created. It will override the file.
it does that here. But let's take a look here. That may be because it is an empty file here. So I'm gonna say touch. Let me put something in that file I'm creating. So I have a new file here, right? And let me see, new file has some stuff in it. Okay, so ls-l, new file here, it was created at this time here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new file. And if I do ls-l, okay, and then if I do cat. So what it does is it is not actually creating a file. What it's doing is it's updating the timestamp when that file was accessed. So when you're touching a file, if the file already exists, it is updating the file file access point. So what I'm going to do is later on in the course, you will learn about inodes and stat of the file. So there I will explain you how this file system is working. Okay, so there is a command called stat, and if you give file name, and you have like a lot more information about one single file here. See how much data it has. This is called a metadata, and it has a lot more information than usually you get to see. Okay, but I'm going to go in a great detail when I cover this path here. Okay, so that's a good point, you brought it up, and a very good observation. Okay, so in Linux, you want to be successful, you have to have a good or a keen eye watching stuff. So very good. So continuing on. Okay, anybody else have a question? All right, no questions means we'll proceed. So here, I'm gonna make notes here. So okay, so there it's filtering out D as a file and then F as a file. Okay, and here it is something that ends with, filters out using ends with. Okay, so you are asking the system to bring out something that ends with number 2. Okay, you could definitely play around. Okay, why not 2 here? What else we have here? ls-l. So okay, let's do something that has F in it. So I haven't done this in a while. So I'm looking for a file, ls-l. I'm looking for a file asterisk, and then I'm going to put F in it, and then I'm going to asterisk. So I'm telling a system, oh, I don't know what the file starts with, what the file ends with, but I think the file has F in the middle. So let me hit enter. Oh, there you go. So what it does is it goes through the file that may be starting with F or ending with F. So this is starting with F, ending with F, or F in the middle of the file. So right here. So this file is coming up because this is F is right in the middle of the file. And these are coming up because the F is starting initial of that file. All right. So this should be easy peasy, right? So what I'm gonna do is now we are kind of now these were the basic commands so far. Now we're gonna get into some copying the files from one location to another location. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do ls-l here, and we have doc1, doc2, doc3, file1, file2, file3, and new file here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually remove everything, rm-rf, and I'm gonna delete everything here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do touch, and I'm gonna make it Chicago. Okay, and then Austin, where you at? New Jersey, right? Okay, so he's away.
I'm in DC. I'm in DC.
Oh, you're in DC, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna say DC, Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and then Canada. No, Ottawa. Where are you, Salman?
Mississauga.
Okay. Okay. Now I have files here: Chicago, Mississauga, and Washington. Now I'm gonna make the directories Illinois, Canada, and DC. Okay. So if I run the tree command, what I have is we have 3 files and 3 folders here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to copy the file. So copying CP is the command you use. And this command, CP command is used for copying files and folders. Okay, so now let me make sure the recording is still on.
It's on.
Okay. All right, so yeah, Red Hat one. सबका Red Hat one ही है. Okay, so let me clear this here, and then I'm going to do ls-l. And what I'm going to do is I have Chicago, right? And then I'm gonna I'm gonna copy a file, Chicago. So I'm copying a file, Chicago, into Illinois, okay? So I have to do that here. So what I'm gonna do is, so the command to do that is CP, okay? And then do Chicago. You have to provide the source. You have to tell the copy command, what do you want to copy? I want to copy a file named Chicago, and then destination, where you want to copy. I want to copy to Illinois. So here is, so you copy, and this is source. All right, and this is destination. So we are copying Chicago into Illinois, okay? And I hit enter. And if I do tree, what I have here is earlier we didn't see in Illinois, there was nothing in there. Now there is a copy of Chicago in here. So there is Chicago here, and there is a copy of Chicago. Why? We did a copy. We didn't do a move. We did a copy. So it creates a replica into another directory here. Okay, and so is this clear here, right? I don't need to. Oh, make sure you understand this concept is going to be really important. Why being, you will be using this a lot. And this is destination. Okay. All right. So now we copied here, right? From one place to another place. Now the next thing is, I'm going to copy Chicago into Canada, but using a absolute path. Can somebody tell me what path I used when I copied Illinois? Okay, so when I copied Illinois, when I copied Chicago to Illinois, I copied using relative path. Okay, so this example, I used relative path, okay, to copy the file. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the absolute path for Canada. I use PWD and hit enter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do CP Chicago, and then I know Canada is sitting in the directory name Zafar 1, right? So what I'm going to do is do this and do type Canada. So
Mr. Zafar,
yeah,
do you want to copy Mississauga into Canada or?
no, I want to copy Chicago also.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm gonna move Mississauga to Canada later.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm messing it up.
Nah, I see. I see.
Okay, so now what happened now is uh, so this is the source and this is the destination here. Okay, I hit enter. And if I do tree or good old tree, and I see under Canada, there is a file named Chicago. Okay, so now I used a absolute path to copy Chicago here. Remember guys, absolute path, you could always use absolute path whenever you want, okay? And relative path is just there available for you so that you could use it anytime. Copying using absolute path. Okay, and okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move. The next thing is move. So MV command, MV is the command here, right? Short for move. Okay, this MV is used for moving files and directories, okay? All right, so what move does is it will delete it from its existing place and put it into a new place. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I have a Mississauga here, right? I want to remove it from here and put it in Canada. So I do MV and I do Mississauga and I do Canada. Okay, again, this is a source and this is a destination. I hit enter there. And if I do a regular ls here, let me just do a regular ss. So I don't see Mississauga in here. Why? Because it got moved to Canada. And then if I do tree, and see Mississauga is sitting inside Canada here. So remember, this is the source and this is the destination here. I do tree now. Now I see, oh, Chicago doesn't belong here. So what I want to do is I want to throw Chicago back to the directory which is supposed to be in here. All right. So what I'm gonna do is uh so from here from this existing place here, Chicago, I'm going to delete Chicago from here. Okay, I deleted from there, but I'm going to do tree. What I want to do is I want to move Chicago from there to here, the top directory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do MV, and then I'm going to go to Canada, and then I'm grabbing Chicago from there. Okay, now this is getting a bit complex and interesting. So I'm in Canada now, and so now you see how we are going to be using the relative path here. I'm moving the file from Canada, Chicago to the directory I am in. So the directory I'm in, how are we going to use, tell the system that move it to the directory I am in? What would be the path? Does anybody know the path? We're going to do a period here. Instead of providing a full path, we're going to do a period here. If we go back up here, if you go scroll up, okay, look here. I put down single dot and double dot. Here, single dot, this means a present working directory. And two dots, this means a parent working directory of a directory you are in. So for now, let's focus on single dot. So let me delete this here. PWD. So present working directory is Zafar 1 here, right? So let me do move Canada and then Chicago, and then I'm doing this here. I could do this. I could also type this there too. Okay. Or I could just type MV Canada Chicago. Oh, it's gone from there. I don't know. I think I messed it up. Okay, so it has already moved here. Okay, hold on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do MV move. So go into Canada and go grab Chicago and move it back to here. So what this means is move the file to back to Chicago here. So if you do tree, and then the file is back in here, and it used to be in Canada, but if you look in Canada here, it's not there. The file is over here. Okay, so I'm going to give a 30-second pause, and you guys let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys.
Zafar, I never noticed, but there's a period underneath. Like when you do the tree command, there's a period at the top of the,
Yeah,
I guess, yeah,
right there.
yeah, there's a period right there. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Oh, well, if you do ls hyphen al, there are two periods that will show up on the top. There is a one period and there is another. These are hidden files, actually. So going back to here, the concept, what I am telling you here is a single dot means present working directory, okay? If you do CD and a dot, you go back and come back into the same directory. And two dots, you go back one level up, parent working directory of a present working directory.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you're working, it's good to have it's like an absolute path so that you are not going to get confused while you are moving the files.
You know, in all honesty, I always use absolute path because I don't want to get confused here. But the single the relative path is sometimes you have symbolic links that are there. So that's why you need to know how the relative path works also.
Okay. And second question is, we can move the file from folder to the present folder, or we can move the file, just like you created the file.
Anywhere. You can
Oh,
move it
then we
anywhere.
have to add the directory at the end. It's like directory from Washington to or DC to Washington.
Yeah, yeah. Move the directory itself.
No, I want to move Mississauga from Canada, right? Using MV command and want to move under Washington or Illinois.
Yeah, you could do that too. So let's do that actually using the absolute path here. Okay, what is the absolute path for Illinois? So use PWD. For Illinois, the absolute path for Illinois is, so let's do, you want to move from Canada, Mississauga to Illinois, right?
Yep.
So find out what is the absolute path first. This is the absolute path. Then on top of that, add Canada. And then grab Mississauga. Okay. And now do the absolute path again and then move it to Illinois. Okay. Now this is getting complex. So this is the source and this is the destination.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Um, so this is the command. This is the MV command. Okay. And this is the source. And this is the destination. And this is the destination. Now, how complex, you see how complex it gets?
Mm-hmm.
So let me grab the screen. Yeah. Okay. So we have a question here. So if we go back here, okay, the paths, right? So the path is, there are two kinds of path, absolute path and relative path. Okay, so let's find out what would be the absolute path for Canada. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to do first ls-l and you see Canada in here, right? So what you do is you do pwd and then you add Canada to it in the front. That becomes the absolute path for Canada. Okay, what would be the relative path for Canada? Just Canada. CD Canada, it goes into Canada. And if you type CD slash home slash Zafar 1, and then you type Canada, and you go back, you go into Canada again. So this command is called relative, and this command is called absolute, because absolute means you're coming from the top directory all the way to the top directory. Where is the top directory here? Let's take a look. So later on, I'm going to show you what all this directory means when we are studying directory structure. You see a little slash here. There is a topmost directory here. There is nothing on top of that. That is called root. But I don't want to confuse that at this moment here. So you're coming from there and in here, you're going. So this is a relative path, and this is the absolute path here. Why is it relative? Because you already are halfway in that path. You are sitting halfway in that path. How are you sitting halfway in that path? Is here. You're already here. All you have to do is go to Canada here from there. How do you find out if you are in the path of Canada? Most of the time, just do ls. And if you see Canada is in your path, you see the directory in there. And then you do pwd is your absolute path of your own directory, and then you add Canada on top of that. So the absolute path for Canada becomes /home /Zafar1 Canada.
But we don't have access to home, right?
Those are the things that will come up in
We don't have access.
yeah. Later on, we will have access and we'll find those things out. Yeah. So eventually what will happen is you will have a root access. That means a super admin access, where you will be able to go anywhere and everywhere. So this is what happened here. So I moved a file. Okay, so I haven't moved it yet. So the command is mv, okay, move, and I'm providing the source here, home, Zafar1, Canada. And then I'm moving it to, where am I moving it to? Illinois. /home /Zafar1, and get in a habit of using the tab key, okay? Tab key is, you type like IL a little bit and then do a tab key, it will autofill it for you. Okay, sometimes you will have a long names for the file and a directory, and it will help you in that scenarios.
So
Yeah.
you forgot the file name.
Hmm?
You forgot the Mississauga.
Oh, okay. So go back in here and just type M, and I'm going to do a tab, so it auto-filled it for me. Okay, so if I hit enter, and if I do tree, there you go. The file from Canada is, it used to sit in Canada. Now from there, we move it to Illinois.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, now next one is a bit tricky here, okay? So watch me carefully. So okay, source and destination using absolute path, okay? Okay, now Now we are now now all of a sudden I went in here. I went into CD Canada, right? And I'm looking for a file name. Um, I'm looking for a file name, Mississauga. It's missing there. I want to move it back. So, oh, I saw it. It's sitting in Illinois. So what I'm gonna do is move, and then I'm gonna say two dots, and then I'm gonna say Illinois, and then I'm gonna say Mississauga, and I'm gonna do this. It will bring things back to its normal here, but this looks very weird because you need to know what these two dots are. These two dots are previous working directory. So I am in here. So I'm in Chicago. No, I'm here in Canada here, right? So what this command is doing is I am here in Canada. From there, I'm going back here. And from there, I'm going here. And then I'm grabbing this file here. And once I grab it from here, I'm putting it back into Canada. All right. Tell me if it's not confusing. Then you get a job.
A little bit tricky, but yes, you're right.
So this is two dots means parent working directory.
Current working directory. Where you are in. Current directory.
Two,
where you are
two
in.
dots, yeah. The two dots are, so right here, you are in Canada. Okay, let me delete this again.
Okay.
So this is saying go to parent working directory. Okay, then from there go to Illinois, and then from there grab Mississauga and put it in the dot. A single dot means here. You're you're sitting in a room, and then you're going into a room next door, grabbing it from there and bringing it back. So the first one is go to parent directory is you're going to parent directory, okay? So you went there. And then from there, you're going into Illinois. And from there, you're grabbing Mississauga, okay? You grabbed it. And from there, you're bringing it back to Canada, okay?
I want to show you something.
Yeah.
I want to show you something. What happened when I ran that command.
Okay, give me just a moment here. Let me finish this. So I hit enter here, and if I do ls, there you go. Mississauga is back where it belongs. Okay, all right, give me one moment here. We have a question here. Let me go attend the question. Or you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, share your screen.
Then my screen can see it.
No, share, which screen are you sharing?
Yeah, screen one.
Yeah, go ahead and share it.
I did. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Return to meeting. I don't see a screen.
You should see the screen. Okay, let me stop.
And then you have select the window.
On sharing everything. So you should be able to see.
I don't see it. I see my own screen.
What you need to do is you need to stop sharing.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, now you can share.
Can you see it now?
Yeah,
So this command I ran, right? This is my current tree before I ran this command. This was the tree. So I am in Canada, means my current directory, and I want to copy Mississauga from Illinois directory. So I give this path and the dot. When I ran it, and then I check the tree. This is all I'm getting.
okay. That is true. Do ls. Yeah, you're good. The reason you're getting that is because the tree is only showing the relative path from Canada itself.
I got it. There you go.
There, now you see it better.
Yeah.
So you didn't do any error here. You're good.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
My mistake.
No, I mean, the more interactive we have, the better it gets here.
Yeah, but it didn't copy the Mississauga file.
It did.
It did?
Yeah. Do ls there and do pwd. You should be in Canada. And do ls.
Yeah, it's copied.
All right. You're getting it. So anybody who is online, any confusions? So guys, I really don't want to rush into anything because these are the building blocks. And if you have any confusion here, then it's not going to work out later on. And then the more you practice, the better it gets. You have access to the video, the document, you have access to the server, you have access to Austin, he's a resident expert. So anytime, day or night, just put it in the chat that you did this and you have a question, you need help, then we are there to help you, because once you really get this here, I mean, the easy thing you would get it is a 6-figure job, 6-figure salary job. That's the cheapest thing you could get. And on top of that, you get into DevOps, programming, and all the other stuff you could do. Okay, so we'll continue for another 10 minutes, and then after that, we'll take a 20-minute break, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so and it's the same thing. It's the same thing for copying a file, okay? So let's do, I want to copy Mississauga. let me do the absolute path copying of Mississauga, okay? Um, /home/Zafar1, and then I'm going to go into Canada, and then I'm going to grab Mississauga, and then I'm going to do absolute path here, and then I'm going to go to Zafar1, and then I'm going to put this into DC, okay? So you could do that, or what you could do is you could do this too. Dot dot slash DC. Okay, and hit enter. And I'm gonna, okay, let me copy this part here. By the way, can somebody tell me what is source and destination? Always source comes in first and destination comes in later, okay? So this is the source and this is the destination. See, even though you're sitting in Canada here, you could just use this here, but I'm just showing you the absolute path here. So if you use the absolute path, you're not going to make many mistakes. And then if you use the relative path, there is a chance you would make mistakes. But absolute path is there too. The more you understand, the better it gets. So if I do a tree here, there is nothing you're going to see here, right? So if you go back here and if you do tree, and now you see inside DC, there is a Mississauga also. So we copied this guy from here and we put it in here. And this is also existing there. Why? Because we copied the file. We didn't move the file. If you move the file, it's like deleting in one place and moving it to the other place here. Okay, so let me clear the screen. Let me do tree again. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Illinois. And I know Chicago is already there, right? So I'm gonna make a file here. So I'm gonna make another file here. No, let me make a Chicago city. I'm gonna make Schaumburg. Okay, I'm making Schaumburg and I'm making Gurney. Okay, and if I do go back to home place, and if I do tree, so all of a sudden I have three files here, right? I don't want to copy. All of a sudden I have a need to copy all these files into another location here, maybe like in Canada. Okay, so how am I going to do that? So I'm going to do CP, and then I could do a relative path here. Okay, so a relative path would be Illinois. And then I mentioned I want to copy everything here. So asterisk. Okay, sorry guys, I forgot to mention anything. Here, if I, where did I put the asterisk? Okay, Let me make this here. So this is a wildcard. Okay, this can be used for filtering. And wildcard itself means everything. Okay, so sorry, I forgot to mention. If you're just using wildcard with a combination, it will bring up everything with that combination here. And if you're not putting anything in there, that means it will grab everything. Okay, so did I type this correctly here? Asterisk itself means everything, right? Okay, so here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the wildcard here. So what it means here is everything, grab everything from here. And where do you want to put it in? I want to put it in into Canada. So I'm using a absolute path here. Home, then Zafar 1, then I'm going to go to Canada, and then that is where I'm stopping. Okay, so one more time. What's going to happen here is, so you're copying everything here. Okay. Uh, everything I'm copying from there to here. So, all right, well, let me grab the screen. Okay, when I hit enter and take a notice here. See, we have only one file here. Now we're gonna be having all these file in there as well as here too. So I hit enter, and then, by the way, if you don't get any errors, that means it's a good thing. That means the command you typed worked. All right, I hit enter. There you go. You have Chicago over here, and Chicago, Gurney, Mississauga, and all those things are there. So let's take a 20-minute break, and we'll come back at the top of the hour at 10 a.m. Central. All right, guys, so break starts now. Okay, so we'll get started here. I see one question. can we use multiple wildcard statement too in a one line? Okay. So what you could do is when you're using a wildcard, you have to only specify only one thing, right? So if you want to copy like so the thing is you have to use like CP slash or you do Canada, and then you have to do like asterisk S. Okay, so anything that is starting with S will copy.
I'm not sharing a screen.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Can you see it now?
No.
I can't see it either.
Okay, what about now?
Still no.
No. Okay, let me see.
Now I can see it.
Okay, great. So the question is, can I copy multiple commands using asterisk? So what you could do is like, you could definitely do it here, but if you have like multiple things starting with the same name, meaning if you have like Shamberg, right? You have like 3 or 4 Shamberg here, Shamberg 1, Shamberg 2, Shamberg 3. What you could do is you could do CP asterisk and then give a little S, and then you copy to Illinois. Let's copy to DC. Okay. Okay. That N that starts with S is a S and an asterisk, and I hit enter, and I do tree, and there you go. Only Shamberg got copied here. So Salman, to answer your question, this is how you would do it. Is
Yeah,
it?
I know, but what I was asking is like, can we do multiple, using wildcard in one line? I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
not. It's as simple as like a one statement only at one
Okay,
time.
so let's try it here. Actually, I never tried that. And then let's do in DC's Mississauga is there and G asterisk. Okay, and C asterisk. So what you might have to do is, I'm not sure this might work, but this part is going to work. From here to here, I'm not for sure this part is going to work. But for you to answer this, you may have to type the whole thing again, like this. So no, actually this will not work because the source and destination, there shouldn't be any gap between source, only one space gap between source and destination, okay? So this is source and this is the destination.
So means only one file at a time.
No, in this case here, anything that starts with C. In this scenario, If
Yeah,
you
I understand that. But I was thinking to move Chicago, Gurney, and Schaumburg at the same time, leaving back Mississauga in Canada, right?
yeah,
That's what my question was. Anyway, okay, thank you very much.
yeah, it may not work. I mean, if you try it out, if you find something, then you could share it here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so moving things around is the same thing. Just replace it with instead of CP, just use MV to move it around here. Okay, now the tricky part is to move around the folders here. It's a little bit tricky for you to move the folders around. So what I'm gonna do is um, okay, so copying the folders here. So let me clear this and do tree. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create another directory. I'm gonna name it uh, North America. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is do tree again. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the entire directory of Illinois, and then I'm gonna copy it into North America here. So how I'm gonna do that? So the command is cp, okay, and then I'm gonna have to give a switch minus uppercase R. That means recursive. And then I'm gonna do Illinois, okay, and then I'm gonna copy it to North America. Yeah, make one in your home directory. Make one mkdir North America. Okay, I hit enter, and if I do tree, now you see the entire directory of Illinois. It got copied from here. It is sitting over here. So since this is a copy, that means it will be available in the original place as well as in an existing in a new place.
Question. This command only copies the files from that directory into North America. It didn't move or copy the directory itself.
It did. You see, Illinois is over here.
Didn't for me.
Okay, what is the command you used?
I use CP Illinois /star.
No. Don't do start. So the correct command is, let me bring that up. Here's a CP space. Okay, go into North America and delete everything.
Yeah.
Asterisk. No, RM-RF. So go back to your home directory and then run the command on the screen.
Oh, I missed that. Dash R. Dash R.
Yeah, uppercase R.
Yes.
You got it, right? Okay. So, mhm. Okay, CP minus uppercase R and source. So this copies entire directory. All right. Okay, so CP hyphen uppercase R. This copies the entire directory. By the way, directory and folder means same thing, okay? To destination. Okay, so this is the source and this is the destination. Okay, so all right, any questions about this, or you want me to explain one more time? Anybody? Okay, that means no questions. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the folder, okay? So copying folder, moving folder. Okay, so MV is we're gonna use the MV command again. MV is the command to move files and folders. Okay, this is similar to cut and paste. So when you do that, what will happen is that folder is going to be gone from the source location and it will be moved to the destination location. So let's take a look here how we're gonna do that. So let's do tree. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move Illinois from here to I'm gonna put it in Canada here. MV, and then I'm gonna use the relative path here, North America, Illinois, and I'm going to move it to Canada. Okay, let's see if this command is going to work. Okay, I didn't get any error. And I'm going to do tree. So look, now North America got nothing in there. And now Canada has Illinois as a directory, and everything under Illinois is sitting in Canada here. Okay.
For me, it transfer the entire directory under Canada.
That was supposed to be, yes. That's what happened. That is the command. Moving the entire directory, not just a file.
Yeah, so it moves the entire North America underneath it, everything under Canada.
So did you use North America / Illinois?
So I use just North America.
Okay. Whatever the command you use, it worked.
Yeah.
But you just have to be careful. Don't be deleting the system files and you are killing the system. If you kill a huge database system, then you better pack everything and leave.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so there is a classic example. So I mean, he copied the entire North America to a different place we're not supposed to. But if you think in reality you did something, it's going to cause a huge problem. And the thing with Linux is it's not warning you. We didn't get any warning message when we ran this command here, right? It just assume you want to do it. Now imagine this is only when you're using as a regular user. As a root user, you have a capability of moving files and folders around and deleting and doing everything you could think of. And if you did a wrong move, then it's going to make a mess. So let me just explain you here, writing it down. So this is the move command. You know what, instead of doing that, so the entire directory is here and it got moved from here, North America here. I must copy this part too. So this is the command. All right, and this is the source, okay? And destination. Okay, and in this case, this is the entire directory. Moves the entire directory. This should go here, I think, yeah. So guys, make sure you hone in all these things here. I'm keep repeating it. The basic ones are the important ones because these are the building blocks. So later on, all these will come back to you, and then you just have to remember how things are working. Especially when we're going to be doing some scripting in Ansible, this will come really handy. And then use this document to keep it handy so that you know what you're doing here. Okay, moving along. Now here's another caveat, okay? Move command, what are the capabilities of moving the move command? Move command is also used for renaming the file and folder. Okay, now this is going to get interesting here. So if I do ls-l, okay, and I see DC, right? I see DC. Nobody knows what DC is. So I'm going to move DC and I'm going to use this as District of Columbia. Now, so what is happening here is this is a command. Okay, and the little tiny DC is source. And then this directory is destination. And if the destination is the same directory where it's sitting in, it renames it. So source and destination, source and destination, if it's in same place, it renames. Okay, so we'll take a look at how that is possible here. So let me grab the screen. Okay, so if I hit enter here, okay, and if I use my good old ls command, -l, now you see DC over here. But now the DC is gone and it has been renamed as District of Columbia. And if you notice here, it is keeping its information here when it was created and stuff. So it started here and then the move command, we did this and it became so now you got to be careful here. If you were trying to move a directory from one place to another place, but you instead of renaming it, and now that is causing a problem, so you will have a system outage. So just be careful what you're doing here. So
Move the directory basically under North District of Columbia, but it changed the audit track.
Yeah. No. You're moving the file in the same place. And the system is saying, okay, the source and destination is the same. Then, oh, you want to move it then. So it's not going to ask you a question, do you want to move it or not? It's just going to rename it.
Rename.
Yeah.
But if you run the tree command here, you run the tree command. Then we named it.
Yeah, see, DC is gone.
He renamed as different. Or we it did something different.
Okay, what is the command you use? First do PWD. Where are you?
I'm at the root. My home.
Your home and run tree there.
Yeah, I can see DC under District of Columbia. So basically it moves the entire direction.
So you did, okay, can you scroll up, can you roll up and tell me the command you use?
MB DC MB space DC space District of Columbia.
Okay, that shouldn't have happened here. Let's take a look. Anybody else is facing an issue online? Yeah, if you could share your screen. Let me stop the screen. Yeah.
Command.
Okay, can you scroll up? Okay. All right, so okay, do clear the screen, type clear. And type history there. Okay, you see number 233?
Yeah,
Okay, why'd you run that command?
because I don't have District of Columbia as the.
No, nobody else did.
Oh.
You jumped the gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you jumped.
I got it.
You jumped the gun there.
If there is no District of Columbia over there, then it will.
It will rename it.
Rename the directory. Okay. I got
So
it.
let's do it. This is a good point here. So do move MV District of Columbia and then name it DC. Tab, do the tab key. Push the tab key. There you go. Then give a space there. Then give it a name DC. Enter. Okay, now do, there you go.
District of Columbia is gone and the BC is there.
Okay, so the reason it's there is because of the other command you ran.
So if I wanna remove this layer, what should I do?
So
I have DC under DC, so I just wanna remove one folder. Okay, one directory, deleting of one directory.
so so you want to delete one directory, but if you delete DC, then it's going to delete DC and then it's babies.
To move the file first to the another DC and then
Yeah. So what you have to do is go into DC again. Yeah, and then no. And then type DC again. No, hold on. Then go back / then do a asterisk, give a space there, then type a period, enter. Now do tree. All right, get rid of DC, RM-RF. No, hold on. Yeah, do tree. And then, so you want to get one DC there, right? So, yeah, no, it copied 3 files into DC now. So you have to go into DC again and then delete DC. CD into DC. And then, yeah, RM. Okay, before you do that, good practice is to do LS. Do LS-L. No, remove RM. LS-L. Okay, now you see DC there, right? There is nothing in DC. So get rid of DC. RM-RF DC. Okay, now do tree. There you go. Now rename DC. MV DC and then give it a name District of Columbia. Okay, now do tree. There you go. Now the Illinois is not well, whatever. Yeah, this is not there, and District of Columbia is there. So why did that happen? Because you did the source and destination.
Destination that doesn't exist.
Yeah. So
The source.
correct. Yeah. Okay. Anybody who's online have any questions regarding this? Okay. No questions. Yeah. So now what we have another half hour, so it's not much. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so let me clear the screen. Let me do tree. All right, now let me do ls-l. Okay, so now it's the same thing to rename the file. MV Washington, I'm gonna do Washington DC, okay? That's it. There you go. Same process, same exact process for the file and folder. By the way, I did mention file is a file and folder is also a file. Okay, I remember that. File is a file and folder or directory is also a file. It's just how this is stacked up, it makes it a folder or a directory. But the way Linux system handles it is nothing more than a file here. So in Linux, there is a thing called file system. So everything is a file system. It's stacked underneath each other. Okay. So moving and now files and folders here. So example. So here. So this is it was, and this is what we renamed as, okay? Okay, moving North America, Illinois to Canada. So what is this example for? Okay, and this was sitting in Illinois. Okay. So while moving, you don't have to give R or hyphen uppercase R, okay? The one we did earlier. We don't have to do that. Okay, so moving along. So now we're gonna get into a totally different arena. I'm gonna say something called echo. ECHO. Echo means like repeat. Okay. So by the way, if you have a command and if you want to clear the line on the, if you want to clear this, do Control U. Control U will clear the screen. Not the screen, but the command line. Okay. So give me one moment here. Let me relog in here, duplicates. Okay, so I'm back in my system again. So if I type echo, nothing happens here. It goes into the next line, but notice it gave you an extra space there before it went into the next line. So what does that means? That means that it is echoing nothing. Echo means repeat, right? So
Yeah.
echo means repeat. So if I type echo and I say this is Linux course, so what's going to happen is it will just remove echo from itself and it will just give this repeat itself. So echo, this is Linux course. And if you say like echo, I am in DC. So it's just a plain text, whatever you're doing, it will repeat. Okay. We're going to be using this later here to our advantage, how the echo will be used here. Okay. It's very, very important. It is used in a scripting all the time. Okay. Echo means repeat. Okay. So, and I don't think there is much I could explain other than it's just repeat itself. And if you're just saying echo, oh, I already explained that. So that's about it. So I think we already done the multiple commands. Let's do alias. Okay. Alias, we are on a totally different concept here. Echo command is done. I'm talking about alias. So alias is you can create your, okay, what is alias? This is like a shortcut. This is like a shortcut. You can use combination of commands to create your own command. Okay, so what does it means here? So let me just do clear. I'm going to type a command alias, ALIAS. And then I'm going to give it a name Zafar. And then I put an equal sign. And then I open single quotes. Okay. And then I'm going to put a command in here. Okay. Yeah. The command I'm going to say is ls-l semicolon. Okay. If you go up early here, I showed you how to run multiple commands, right? Okay. Where is that? Okay. PWD here. Okay. Here I said running multiple commands, right? So you put down a command and give a semicolon. So I'm doing ls-l, and then I'm gonna do pwd, then I'm gonna do history 20. Okay, and I'm gonna do, so I'm not gonna do any command that is gonna create or change or move files, so you gotta be careful what you're doing here. Yeah, and then I'm gonna say, okay, let me just stop it right here. Okay, but sky's the limit here. You could put any commands you want. So I hit enter. Okay, so what happened is it created alias here. So now I have a command in the system now. If I simply type Zafar, it's gonna execute these commands here. There you go. So what was the command it executed? So whatever it was in the in the command here. So first it did ls-l, which is this command, and then it did pwd, so which is this command here, and then it has a history here, and then it brought up last 20 commands in the history. Okay, so why? Because it has Zafar here. So if I keep typing Zafar all the time here, if I type Zafar semicolon Zafar, is gonna repeat twice as much. Okay, so what alias means, you have created a alias. So I want to see what aliases you have in the system here. Just type alias. Before that, let me do this here. Okay, you're going to have a combination of commands to create your own command here, okay? And then if you want to see all the aliases in the system, just type alias and hit enter. Okay, these are all the aliases which are system generated, and this is the one you see is generated by you. Okay, now you may see a similar ones or you may see a different ones here. So I'm not worried about it. Just the other ones are system generated. The one you're looking at it here is Zafar one, and it is running these commands. Okay. Now, if you want to get rid of alias, all you have to do is just type unalias. And then if you type alias, it's gone. You don't see that here anymore. Okay, so to create, okay, and then to remove alias, you run this command.
And if you want to remove all the aliases, then
Yeah, you just I haven't tried that yet. Let's go ahead and try this. These are system aliases. It's doing something. Go ahead and do alias, and then do a semicolon next to it. So let's do alias, and then do alias Zafar one. Okay, so we have Zafar and Zafar one, right? So you do an alias. Okay, it didn't give me error. And then if I do alias, is it gone? Yeah. So yeah, both are gone because I asked to remove Zafar and Zafar one.
so can we use a wildcard on that too?
You could use, I said, sky is the limit. You could use whatever you want. Just be careful what you're trying to do. Yeah, you could do an alias, then Zafar and a wildcard. Yeah, probably should work.
Thank you.
That's our playground. Right now, we can do anything.
Yeah. So now the next thing is, so far we've been creating a blank file and the folder here right now. So let me do ls-l, and then I'm going to get rid of everything here. I'm going to do rm-rf and an asterisk. Okay, I want to get rid of everything, and I want to start the clean slate. If I do ls-l, there is nothing there beside the file there. I mean, beside the hidden files. I'm not worried about hidden files at this moment. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file, touch file one. Okay, and if I do ls here, -l file one is there. But what is the use here? We're just creating the blank file so far. I want to put some content in the file. So the content I want to put in the file, I'm going to do it is do vi. Okay, so vi, this is called editor, go like a text pad. And then I'm going to give it a name file one and hit enter. Okay, if you look down on the bottom here, you see a file and then the file name, and it is showing you 0 lines and then 0 characters. 0 lines and 0 characters. Okay, so make sure you look where. So I mean, it all boils down to how you are capable of reading a file. Okay, this is all text and everything. So in here, in text format, it's giving you file name and 0 and all and stuff. So let me put that in here. Okay, so we are in VI editor. That means we're going to edit the file here. So to start editing the file or start putting any content into the file, push I as in India, and down on the bottom you see it says is in insert mode. Okay, it gives you, when you push I as in India, it says it's in insert mode. Okay, so VI file 1 to enter the file. Okay, then push I as in India, lowercase I, everything is lowercase, to enter edit mode. Okay, so now I am in edit mode. So I'm going to type, this is Linux course. Okay, and this is Red Hat Linux. Put anything you want in there, okay? Don't worry about just a text. This is just a text file, okay? So now what we need to do is we have to save the file and exit. So right now we are in insert mode. So on your keyboard, push the escape key. So you're out of the insert mode. And down on the bottom here on the right side, it is showing you, it is 3 lines and 24 characters. So it is tracking your stuff there too. Okay, so now, now this is a black screen. There is no X or save button here. How are you gonna save out of this? Okay, so to do that, you have to do shift key. You have to hold on the shift key and then push the colon. Okay, and then do X as in X-ray. You do the shift. Okay, hold on. So you do shift key, shift colon X. Simple as that. So make sure it doesn't say insert on your the screen. So what you have to do is you have to do shift and then push a colon, which is on top of semicolon right next to L key, letter L. And then X as in Xerox. Okay, a small X. No, make sure it is not an uppercase X. And hit enter. There you go. It did not give you any error. That means the file has saved and exited. Any questions? Anybody have? I'm sure one of you might have some kind of error. Who's having a problem? Anybody online having a problem? Okay, good. So we did really good then. So Shift colon X, what it did is it save and exit the file. Okay, VI to enter the file one and I. So guys, remember this is a little I, not uppercase I. The Word document, it keep changing itself. To enter the edit mode, Shift colon X, save and exit, okay? So we saved and exited the file. Okay, so let's go back into file again, VI file one. You just came in here to read the file here. You're not doing any edit or anything. So what you're gonna do is just make sure you're not in insert mode. If you're not sure what mode are you, just push the escape key on the keyboard. So it will take you out of the mode, any mode you are in. And do Shift colon Q as in queen to quit the file. Okay, so you went in there, you read the file and you quit the file. So let me over here, actually over here, ESC, escape to exit edit mode. Okay, Shift colon X to save and exit. Okay, and then if you are just in the file for reading, then do Shift colon Q. That means it will quit. You will quit out of it. And then let's go in there. Let's go to file one. And then I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna go I as in India. And then I'm gonna say this is a mistake. So, oh, I'm not, I did something in the file. I'm not sure why I made a mistake. So what you have to do is, so Shift colon Q as in queen and an exclamation. So over here, so keep an eye on the down bottom of your screen. Okay, so Shift lowercase q and exclamation. This will quit without saving.
Said
You have a question? Okay, no question. So if you hit enter, okay, the edit you made is not there anymore. So if you go back and then take a look, it's not there. Okay, I'm gonna do Shift colon Q. I'm out of there. So I don't think this is necessary here.
Yeah, work for me.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Escape. ESC key. So there are a bunch of other stuff here. I'm going to show you the basic. This will move you out of edit mode. Okay, and then Q means 1 more minute, then we're done for the day. This will quit the file. Okay, quit exclamation. This will quit without saving. If you had made any changes, okay? Keeping a file unedited. Okay, so we're gonna stop here. And once the recording is processed, I will upload it on the YouTube, and then I will upload the document here also, okay? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you're practicing it throughout the week, and if you have any questions, put it in a chat, and hopefully you are getting this and you'll make a good use of this. All right, guys, thanks for coming in, and then we'll catch up next week.